right, your local power teams, okay, as we're going to cover today. And one of the biggest mistakes that new investors make in the beginning is skipping this step. So don't do that. Okay, instead of taking the time to build their teams, they just go dive full force into hunting for a deal. And for the record, that's like going hunting without a weapon, which really just makes us look like a bunch of dipshits dressed in camo. Don't be that person, okay? So building your local power team is not only how we successfully land a deal, but it's how we successfully operate a deal as well, okay? Our local power teams are going to provide us with priceless knowledge and support. Listen, we don't and we never will know it all, right? So what you'll learn is that there's these curveballs and nuances of every single deal. And at those moments, it's invaluable to have somebody to call and brainstorm with, right? Somebody who has been there, right? Somebody who can give us pros and cons, right, for each option. So my advice is to always look for ways to surround yourself, with people that are better than you at particular tasks, and then go get them to do those particular tasks, get those tasks done, right? Honestly, in my opinion, I think that's business 101. And I'll say my greatest secret, so keep it to ourselves, okay, is I've been successful and will continue to be successful because I surround myself with people who do things better than I can, not even a question. And I love to pay them to do those things, okay? Those who focus on cost instead of the reward never see the reward. Instead, we have to focus on the value, right? Focus on the reward, and then surround ourselves with, people that will help us get there. So educating ourselves before we have certain experiences is obviously critical, and will certainly help us. This also helps us make, better decisions when decisions are needed. But man, our probability of making right decisions becomes way higher when we have somebody on our team who is educated, right? Who has experience. Okay. So first step, okay, is to, don't do, but delegate. Dave Lindahl, right, my mentor in this business, would always tell me, Tyler, focus less on doing and more on delegating. And that has been very wise advice. The best part is the less that I do, the more that I make, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so we should continually be focusing on creating systems to run our business as well. When we make a mistake, which is going to happen, okay, we need to create systems so that we don't make that same mistake again. Essentially, we should be doing what we do best and delegating the rest, okay? So delegation comes in two forms. Employees, okay, these are people that we can hire and delegate the work to, right? And also subcontractors. Now, these are people that you can hire for things that you don't need done on a regular basis. And you'll begin to see that our power teams can help us find and close on deals, but they're also the ones who will carry a huge load, right, burden throughout this process, and be grateful for the opportunity because, dude, it's what they're good at. So I'll show you a bunch of team members, okay? Your job is to determine essentially, which ones are most important to you in the beginning. So there are essentially three different teams that you'll need to set up, okay? Your deal team, your money team, and your property team. So start with the deal team first, okay? Your deal team, these are the, individuals who will bring us the deals, right? And help us put the deal together. So these consist of, real estate agents, brokers, attorneys, right? Commercial listing brokers are obviously key relationships that we need to continually cultivate. They'll help us, they'll help make you wealthy, okay? But remember too, you're gonna do the same for them, okay? Because of that, we can never hitch our wagon to just one broker. We have to diversify. And we do that by building relationships with as many brokers in the market as possible, period. Also remember that this is a relationship-based business. And the key to building relationships is understanding and caring about the needs of the other person. So with that in mind, okay, let me tell you what brokers care about, which is closing the deal, period. That's how they get paid. That's how they build credibility with the seller. So in day 3 of this training, we'll talk about how to give them more confidence that we'll do just that, right? Close on the deal. Now, number 2 is your money teams. These, our money team, these are these cherished souls, right, that give us the money to do our deals. So these individuals and groups, right, they can be located nationwide. They don't have to be located right there in the market where you're at or where your property's at. Now, the commercial mortgage broker will source the debt piece. Okay, that covers the majority of the funds that we need to close. We're always going to leverage, remember? So we leverage so that we can scale faster, which means 70 to 80% of the money needed comes from the lender. Our mortgage broker is really just the middle person for that relationship. Now, private money investors are, once again, cherished relationships. They cover the remaining 20 to 30% of the funds needed to close. And I've mentioned this multiple times, but when you take care of them, they'll invest with you, us, right, for a lifetime. And that will continue to make this business easier and easier for you, especially, and is critical to growth, okay? So we'll cover this in detail in week 3 and spend more time on the actual how-tos of cultivating those relationships. But for now, you need to know that they're there, right? And the third one is your local property team. So lastly, our local property teams. And I want you to, first off, our property teams let us know if we have a good deal. They understand how to keep that deal looking good, and they make sure that that deal is continually performing. So look at this in like two phases, okay? Pre-close and post-close. So pre-close, that's your inspectors, your surveys, your contractors, property managers. Post-close is contractors and property managers. So we'll use contractors and property managers throughout the ownership of the deal. They are, some of the first people that we actually contact once we have a deal under contract, especially a deal in our emerging market. They'll actually go shop the property, meaning they'll go to the property and pose as a potential tenant and walk the property. And what I've learned, and what you'll learn as well, is that even though the pictures from the seller might look good, there's a great chance that those pictures are outdated. And this is a critical first step that it can't be missed. Okay, doing this before executing the PSA, it allows us to negotiate needed items up front instead of afterwards. Things like roofs or deferred maintenance, right? So throughout the rest of the week, we'll be learning more about these key team members and taking the steps necessary, action items necessary, right, to actually put these critical pieces in place. Once again, building our local power team isn't just how we successfully land a deal, but also remember how we successfully operate a deal. Okay, they are lethal weapons in the best way. And remember, okay, please, for the love of everything holy, don't skip this stinking step, okay? Don't be that dipshiz that's out there, all decked out in camo without a weapon in hand, please, okay? I'll leave you this quote, okay, with, really from one of the most handsome sons of bees you'll ever meet, okay? It goes like this: in business and in life, our mind is our most powerful weapon. But having a team of professionals to lean on comes next in line, and without question, will weaponize us even further